Hello friends, it's Simone, your favorite neighborhood nerd. Here's my jacket. We don't have a thing outside in the hallway to put them. I have to open the closet door, and that's usually a problem because there's another one back here. Also, as you can see, we have Judith sitting up here. She loves being there. There is a vent for the heater up there, and 2 days ago she was like laying on the shelf and, how do you say that, like bathing in the warm air that came through, and suddenly she lost her balance and she fell off, and I saw how she turned and wiggled. And I walked over there, and then she just fell off, and I caught her. But yeah, that's her favorite place to be during the day until my son comes home, and then she goes upstairs to his room with him. I'm using my own arm to hold my phone, and that's kind of a little hard. So I want to just show my face because that's a thing now. Yep, I'm trying to be better about it and put my face in the first 2, 3, 5 minutes. The ideal would be probably 30 seconds of every video, just to say, hey, I'm here, I'm a real person, you can see my face, and then switch the camera around. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now, because this is going to jiggle a lot right now. I filmed a huge unboxing of a box. Ta-da! An unboxing of a box. The words are very mighty today again. From my friend Wendi Sue at Fountain Pen News. She sent over so much awesome things. I want to talk about those in just a few seconds. But before that, I also got a different package from another friend on my Discord server who went to the road trip event at Port Townsend this past weekend and offered to grab me the items that were on sale, because, as you know, I'm trying to be more outdoorsy and take my van and go camping, take my puppy and go hiking. And so this felt like the perfect traveler's notebook for me. Not sure, I don't know how many more traveler's notebooks traveler's companies coming out with, because I thought that I was at capacity with standard size traveler's notebooks even before this one came out. But I also went through all of mine and decided that I'm not ready to let go of any of the ones that I owned to make room for this one. So I'm adding this one, and I wanted to show it to you. And yeah, she offered all the things, and I'm so glad that she picked them all up for me, because she offered to pick up the traveler's notebook, and I felt weird to ask for the rest. Like, can you get one of each, please? But she did anyway, and she said, oh, I bought 2 doubles of this. Do you want them too? And I'm like, yes, thank you so much. And then I think this was a freebie. So I got this. Maybe I don't know. The problem is that often the back sides of these buttons are not of the highest quality, and they start to rust. So I'm wondering if I want to put this. I can put it on in the beginning on the elastic of my traveler's notebook. Don't get ahead of yourself, Simone. So I have a new clip, and now I have 3, of which I'm finding 1 at the moment. No, actually, I found 2. This one was lost for the longest time. And when I replaced it with this one, I decided to get the Have a Nice Trip, the airplane one, because I thought the second this is in my house, I will find this one again. And that's what I did. And then this one, I don't think mine have a lot of patina just yet. Oh, this is not cool. And then here I put the pins that Wendi Sue sent over here on this Superior Labor case. And I have some tools in here, that I'm using or not. Actually, the thing that I'm using most are these two, and I'm having a very hard time putting them back in here. And I'm also thinking this was in a stationery selection box. I'm going to take this upstairs with me because I'm currently reading a book and I'm having a very hard time to keep that open. And I think it might work quite well to use that for keeping the book open, or at least like, you know, so that it doesn't fall closed. I'll try that. So I'm taking that upstairs. And because I actually, what I love about the Travelers Company brass clip is that it is flat on this side. So when I'm clipping it to a paper, it still lays flat, relatively flat. No, actually, let me put this here so you can see. The paper is still quite flat on the surface. And when I put a clip like this here, because it bulges out in the back, it always lifts up and it's not as easy to work on. So this is not as comfortable. I prefer the Travelers Company brass clips. And I think there are clips on AliExpress that work similar, but the ones that have a fairly flat back and then you clip this to them so that they can lay flat on the surface are the ones that I prefer. So, blah, blah, blah. She's talking too much. I don't know how much packaging I want to keep, but I think what I'm going to do is keep this. And then what I probably might do is just, you know, try to remove some of the thickness of the cardstock by doing that so that it sticks easier to whatever surface I'm going to attach it to. Let's go through the stickers real quick. Oh, okay. Sometimes there's a picture on the back and I totally want to use them more. Every time I received stickers from the Travelers Company, I tend to hoard them. I do not want to do that this time around. And I also really want to be more generous in general with the things that I'm just sharing with others. So I'm probably going to look at all of those and decide which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to give away, and then just include them in some Happy Mail in the future. This one I'm definitely going to keep. Actually, all of those are really, really pretty. They're super big, which is kind of tough to use for me, especially in a standard size traveler's notebook, unless you make this the focal point of the page, which I'm currently using my traveler's notebook as a weekly journal. So one spread is a week. And I removed everything that was on my desk and put it into this basket. I have a lot to do today. But my notebook is right here. And I know that most of you all know this already. So here's a spread. Well, actually this week, if I put this here, well, actually it's not that big, but if I want to journal about the whole week, it takes up a lot of real estate. And guess what happened to me this past week too? Since we're talking about traveler's notebooks, I paid for this and then I realized, you know what? I'm moving away from a traveler's notebook in 2025. I'm going to move into an A5 journal. And then I won't even be able to use this. And I started to slightly panic. Yeah, I know. First world problems for sure. I'm just going to leave this here, that it is great to be able to occupy my mind with problems like this, so that I do not have to think about what else is going on in the world. I'm not how do I say this? I'm not turning a blind eye to what else is happening. I'm just in those moments that I'm panicking about something as mundane as not using traveler's notebooks in 2025. I'm able to just tune out the rest. And so I'm glad I panicked about this. So I brainstormed. I do not want to start other journals, other projects. For 2025, I think I'm at capacity with what I'm doing. And I'm drinking not Earl Grey, Carol Kapek. I think this is either Polish or Czech. And I wonder what the V on top of the C means, how that is pronounced. Darjeeling. Because I'm running out of my loose leaf Earl Grey, and I'm trying to replenish, but I don't really know which one to get. So the stickers are lovely. Maybe I can let go of some of the other ones that I haven't used yet from the other editions that I purchased. This is the Traveler's Time special issue, On the Road Again. Who's writing these texts? Do you know? I don't know. And this is the partner shops. And I know that there was this road trip competition basically. And I don't know what these people won, but their traveling road trip spreads were featured at the event. It would have been fun to have those included in this Traveler Times. Do you read this? I usually don't, and I don't really know what to do with them either. So if you have an idea, let me know. I always feel bad when I just put them to the side. And I actually want to move this over here. This is very stiff leather. And I conditioned it, but it feels like it's already needing another round of conditioning. I only have this one, but I'm feeling like I want to stock up on some more of those things to add to my traveler's notebooks, because I really like how they personalize them. I'm not sure that I want to add any patches or sew them on, but these things up here are really lovely, and I like how they make my traveler's notebook look. So the brown with P. This is included. I do like crinkling sounds. Oh, double bagged. Okay. So I will never edit them out of my videos, because that's just, I love that. And this is ephemera that I want to keep. And I usually also keep those boxes here. Basically replace. I probably could let go of this one because I have that, but also this is patinaed so nicely, and it just feels like this is mine now, that I don't want to let go of that. And if I wanted to, I could also use this elastic, but I am not. I think what I'm going to do, no, I'm going to keep this out here so I can put the other one that I'm taking away. I don't know that I would want the gray. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, there's two of those. I don't know if I like the gray elastic, and it's a different brown. Maybe it patinaed already so much that it's so dark, but this is much lighter. It's also quite pull-uppy. There is some, this looks like there is some weirdness has been going on in the finishing of the product, possibly, like down here as well. Or it's the just like natural leather marks. I am really liking these kinds of marks, even if somebody else might say that this is a faulty product. I do not. I don't even know if Traveler's company would accept this as a, you know, fault. It definitely doesn't look evenly finished. And where I pulled it up, this mark is still remaining, but this one that I just pulled up earlier is too. This is much smoother and softer than this one. This is very dry. I said that again. I wonder if this is how, if just the climate that I live in makes it like that. I'm not going to keep this. And then this is the inside. Let me just open this. So it is very, very similar. Yeah. And then this is the craft paper insert. I knew that, but I just didn't, like, it didn't register until I opened it that that's what the paper was inside here. I'm gonna put this into my stash, and then I'm just going to take all of it out and put it over there. Oh, this is not even on an elastic. And what I'm probably going to do is I am deciding right now that I'm leaving all of those on here for now. Am I? I don't know. I was just, maybe I'm moving this over. That would be fun. And then the clip. What about the Simone? Would it work? Well, I don't know. Let's open it and get that San Francisco Pen Show token. I love that. It's, man, I'm so glad I saw you, if you're even ever watching my videos, Hannah from Hannah Made It at the show, and you gave me one of those because this is probably one of my favorite things that I brought back home. Well, maybe some of the pens are more amazing, but as far as gifts from people, this is so such a great idea. And yeah, I would never be able to do that because I am usually someone who has the idea maybe 5 minutes before I'm going, if even. It's like birthday parties for your kids. The more I think about it, the more I dread it, the more I don't do it. And then it just comes and I wing it. And that is not something that you can do when you go to a pen show and expect to bring something for people. I'm just gonna leave this like that. And, well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Put this on the inside here. And then I'm gonna put this there and put it away for now. I have thought of ideas on what other, like, what projects do I currently do, am I currently working on that I could move into a Traveler standard size. And I am, it's also in here probably. So my daily journal that I'm not really daily journaling in, I'm trying to, but it's not working, is this Ehon Note, which is, doesn't fit, it's an A5 Slim. and it has 180 pages, and I am on page 46. So I do not think that I will be moving into a traveler's notebook anytime soon for my personal journal. I actually really love writing in here. The paper is fountain pen friendly, it doesn't bleed through, it's not even ghosting, and the paper is smooth, and most of the prints that are here you are able to write on, and I really like this paper, so I'm definitely going to continue using this. So that would be an option, but it's not a short-term option for me at this point. Then let's do this and put this on here. Oh my God, I cannot. I don't even know if this is the right way. Okay, let's just take this out and then put it back in. San Francisco, 2024. Do I want this in the middle? In the middle? You know what? I'm going to put this there, and then I can take it off the sticker here, and I'm actually debating whether the cards, what kind of brown is this? This is a really dark brown. It's not as light as the other. I think I want this. Or should I just, no. I like this brown. I like these reddish browns very much, and I'm not sure I'm a fan of the gray. Maybe I'll try this another day. But now, as I'm using this for the last part of 2024, which is only 1.5 more months. Oh my God. Can you even imagine that it's almost 2025? Didn't 2024 just start? I just got a puppy like yesterday. That's at least how it feels to me. So I'm not going to add any a knot just yet. I don't usually use the bookmark, so what I often do is just put it in here so that it's snug. You could even, you know, like do that so that it doesn't come out, like loop it through. And then I'm gonna put this here. And I think the reason why I took it out is because I'm still catching up on pages. No, not anymore. On pages, yes, I am still catching up on pages here. That is very close to the seam right here. And so, like here, it's easier to work in it out of the cover, especially when the elastic then is on, you know. Let me show you. Let me put it in, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think this needs to go behind. Okay, so if I'm working on this spread and this elastic is right on the next page, it's really hard to write on. And so that's why I didn't really take it out, or didn't put it back in. So now I think I can tie the knot right here. Too big? Too tight? Almost too tight. Well, maybe it's going to stretch out now. This is, well. So what do we think about these? No, it's a tiny bit too tight, I feel. So I'm just going to open it up a bit. bit more. And then I'm going to, I think I like this better. Yeah. Okay. So would I have liked this more? No. Right decision for sure. Another journal that I could move into a standard size, which I'm probably going to do. I just need to figure out what journal I'm going to use, or if I'm going to cut down an A5 size. And then I want to put this on here as well. And that, I think I want to be in the middle, like so. Or maybe I want this to just be the elastic, the charm right now. I'm gonna keep it like that for now. Okay, so I wanted to film a lot of snippets, not snippets, 10 minutes challenges, but for some reason I've been doing so many other things that I never had the opportunity to do so. It's already the middle of the month, so I need to get my act together and get that going, because I would really love to actually film some more and catch up. The videos aren't the best. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. The videos that I'm filming for that don't do well compared to other videos that I'm filming. I know that the snippets from my desk videos are hit or miss depending on what I'm talking about. So that's basically, I'm expecting that. Many, not all, many of my fountain pen videos do exceptionally well. But the journal videos do not. Maybe it's because people don't expect journaling videos from me, and I'm okay with that. But that's one of those things where, what do you rather film? A video that you know will do better than the video that you're thinking of filming? I'm trying to do what I really want to do. I forgot. I didn't finish my sentence, right? My train of thought. Let me finish this one. I'm trying to film the videos that resonate with me at that specific moment. But that's why I sometimes promise videos and then I never film them, because I just don't want to. Very unreliable narrator. But yeah, sometimes the motivation to just do whatever I want is there, and sometimes I'm like, ugh, do I really want to do this? And then do a voiceover for it. And then sometimes that is just not, that's just not how this goes. Why is this so thick here? Oh, because I stuck those in here. Okay, so after I put all of my hand oils on here, I want to show you a follow-up of yesterday. Yesterday, I shared, and I think I'm sharing this a little bit later in the week, I shared this pen with the unboxing of the whole Wendi Sue experience. And I inked it up with Diamine Walnut, which, if that is an ink that you would like to own, I'm letting it go. Please reach out to me if you are interested in owning a bottle of that ink. And then I cleaned this pen. I cleaned all the pens that she sent, so we can talk about those in just a minute, because I'm not done talking about them yet. But I inked this pen with the same ink as is in here. And so I just wanted to show you, this is the Pelikan M800 in a fine nib. And I'm going to do the same thing down here so that I can put them side by side. This is a little bit too big. What I noticed yesterday is that this nib is a little bit different than the other nib. And then this is the Pelikan M800. With a medium nib. And now you can see that it must have been the ink. It feels really good. So let me just put this right next to here. And then I'm gonna do one more. This is very soft. So let me bring those up to you here. So in my eye, to me, these two nibs look a tiny bit different. This one, oh, so the right one, which is the newer one, the M800 in green demonstrator, I feel like the width between those two, I don't know, outer edges of the tines, I want to say thighs, but I don't even know if that's a thing, are wider than here. At least that's what it looks like. Maybe I'm just completely off here, but also let's assume that, do I have my caliper here? That would be awesome. Of course not. Why is my child always taking all of my stuff? Well, the caliper is his. Do I have something? That's a metal ruler. That's not cool. But let's just do some math here. So this circle of the Pelikan is about, it's really hard to measure because of the fact that it's bent around the flanks. I believe the circles are the same. But you can see that the circle here goes down and is curved, where the circle here is completely flat. Oh, wow, wow. Can you see it? Like the Pelikan circle is rounded on the left side and completely flat on the right side. And I think this nib is just wider, this one. And so I think that's why this feels different. I mean, if I'm going slow, no, it's not as soft. It is not as soft. It is a lovely writer. And this is just, it's like, the contact that you have with the page is different. It's like, and I feel like the line variation is more, and it gives more, has more give when I'm putting pressure on the downstrokes. So there is definitely line variation. The problems that I had yesterday with, did not try it here. I tried it in my, I put it here too, and you can actually really see the difference in this one. So the problems that I had yesterday with this, the upstrokes were really dry. Let me try this pen on this paper again, because I actually did not. It writes completely different. So the question is, no, sometimes it feels like it doesn't. Can you see? This is thick. This is getting thinner and thinner by the further I get into. It feels like the feet cannot keep up with transporting enough ink, or the same amount of ink as I did in the beginning as it does further into the Now the question is this a problem when I'm going slow? Is this a problem when I'm writing a letter? Is this going to be a problem when I'm journaling? Because to me, even though I'm noticing this right now, this might be a thing that only happens when I do figure eights. But how many times in my life do I do figure eights with a pen when I try to use it for something else? So I need to, as I said yesterday, I need to think about it. I need to try it a little bit more and longer. I need to ask Wendi Sue about the timeline that she needs to get from me until she needs to know if I want it or if she wants to sell it to someone else. I said yesterday in the video that if you're interested in this pen, please let me know. Please don't buy it under my butt, out from me. You know what I mean? Like while I'm trying, you send money to her and then tell me, hey, you need to send this pen over to me, because I'm actually really liking how it feels. So the potential that I want to keep this is very high. And by keep is send a lot of money to her. I love black tea. Oh. So now, I really don't know how I want to talk about all of these pens in the future. I feel like maybe I'm going to talk about them in January, but am I not going to use them until then? I actually even already removed the feed and nib. Look at this chunky feed and nib. Is there another? And look at this in comparison. This is with a housing. This is without. This nib with housing is as fat as this pen without, or as this feed, and then this tiny feed in here. So this is a Jinhao 1919. All of those pens she sent over and gifted to me. This pen she did not. Just want to clarify because I wasn't sure if that came across. And what I plan on doing with these two here is try. Why don't we do that right now? Because when am I going to do that? So there is one here. And there is one right here that I can use. So I want to put these nibs and feeds into the it doesn't go all the way down. And how does this look in here? So, okay. Okay, wow. F-U-C-K. So the thing is that I'm noticing right here is that this is kind of, I wonder how the flow would be if I put this, because this is blah, blah. This is where usually the, I'm going to pull out cartridges to show you. This is a Pilot cartridge. This is where usually the Pilot cartridge, no, is it? Is this how this works? Now I'm super confused. Where is the feed for this? Is there any more? Are they all like this? No. Okay. Alrighty. So this is the housing for a Pilot parallel nib unit. This goes in here like that, and it's really easy to put in and remove. And then there is, as we can see, can you see that? There is a plastic housing basically around this bit, so that when I put in the cartridge, it goes around this thing and then it sits on there tightly. Now, if I remove all of this and think of putting this let's just put all of this away again. So this goes in here like so. It, of course, is not all the way snug down here. And then if I put the feed in here, you can see this knobbin, this would stick out all the way to here. So there would be contact between the feed and the ink, because this is the converter, which is still wet. So if you have done the 1919 test run with a Pilot parallel nib, let me know if it starves, because that would be my assumption that what would happen. So this is how the converter sits on this little knobbin. This is what sticks out in here. And if I screw this in here, this is where your cartridge would go. This needs to be screwed in, of course, but this is where the contact happens. This is where the cartridge and the feed and the housing, obviously, would have contact. Now, there is no contact between this feed and the ink. I'm still going to try this, but that's the stuff that I'm noticing right now and what might be a problem in the future. I will try this out sometime soon. And then this is, I pulled out the nib and feed from this section last night when I cleaned it, but I quickly realized that if this is the feed and this is how fat the Pilot parallel feed is, I won't ever be able to squeeze that thing into here. And so I put it all back and screwed it out, and I am just going to see how this looks. Oh, this seems really doable. And then, but, so what kind, oh no, this is there is no cartridge going here. This is the Wankai Mini. And so this is a eyedropper fill. So you would just fill the body with ink, and then you would have your, how does the, you can see through here that the nib does not touch the top of the, can you see it? The nib does not touch the top of the, the top of the cap. Wow. What the heck? This, so just from my understanding about pens and inks, I feel like this is a really good solution. This might be a little bit iffy. I will try them both, probably in the new year, because I really want to film my top 5 videos and my fountain pen collection. I will talk about those too, but you know, she sent over this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now 7. So now I went from 40 to 47 pens in like 5 minutes. But this is really cool. I like this a lot. I said it yesterday, the section is narrow. I think if I would use this with a, do I have paper here? No paper in this house. Especially if I'm using this with a Pilot parallel nib, it doesn't need to be like super tight. Loose is probably even better. So I would probably hold it back here where the barrel starts, so it doesn't really affect how I feel about this. So that is cool. I like this. Ooh. Oh, oh, oh. It didn't feel like it was, well, now I need to get it back out. Yeah, it comes out, it's snug, which I think is a good thing. So, and then This one I found out this morning, because all of those pens actually were on my Amazon wish list. The only pen that I still have on my wish list and not on Amazon but on AliExpress is the M800. This one is the Asveen P20. This is supposed to be a Leonardo dupe. You can even see the clip finial here. No, that's not the clip finial. The clip thing is very Leonardo reminiscent. Let me grab my big basket of stuff. And you know what? I love talking about this stuff. So this is a grande. Would be the regular one, and I think so. Asveen did a really good job with copying this. Again, I'm very glad to say that this feels a little bit more sturdy, or like in German I would say wertig, like it's more worth, but that's not really the thing that I want to say though. Higher quality, there we go. But this is already really lovely, and actually I'm super impressed by this pen. I think this is the pen nib that goes in here. Yes, there is housings here for all the pens. The feeds are the typical plastic feeds that you can also see on the Jinhaos most of the time. There is did you see the O-ring that was in the section back there? Not the section, the housing for the nib and feed. You can unscrew this and then easily clean the pen. I feel the piston mechanism, like going up and down, is super smooth and very easy to do, which I think is awesome. And this pen is like a little bit less than $30. And I'm really impressed by the quality of this pen. And I would assume that you can actually even use the piston tool from TWSBI to open up this thing and clean it, or maybe grease the piston. This one is the dupe of the Custom 823. I have that inked. Ooh. I'm off screen, but I was jiggling around with my nibs and they almost fell off the table. So it almost same size. Well, I need to screw this on here. Again, this feels like it's higher quality material, and you can see here how this is made from a sheet that was pressed into the shape. So it's not the same quality, but it's also a lot cheaper. And for that price, this is a really good quality. And I'm really glad, same as with this pen, that it's not the same quality and it doesn't feel the same quality, but that it still feels great, because it's a great alternative for one of those pens if you can't afford this pen. But it's not a junk pen, you know? So this is the V126 in clear, and it's kind of matte. It feels really good in my hand. Same as with this one, the mechanism here, this is a different kind. This is a vacuum filler pen, but it feels sturdy. It feels like it's gonna hold up for the multiple uses. You can unscrew the nib section, which I don't think it's possible. I think this section here is glued. Or is this even, I don't even know. Is this made from one thing and then it's glued back here? Because clearly the section is brown and this is translucent, so there must be a seam somewhere. Of course, all of those are steel nibs. This one is a gold nib. This one here is a titanium nib. But you can get those Leonardos with steel nibs. So I probably would, if I were to get a Leonardo with a steel nib, I might not want to go through that expense actually, unless it's a, you know, resin that I really want. But then I'm going to spend the money because of the resin and not because of the, I hope they don't watch this. I really like, there is a place for every pen. So this is cool because you can clean it more easily then. Same feed as the other one. I think it's a very similar nib. This one, I believe, Wendi Sue said she did a grind on this. So I think I'm going to definitely keep this pen in my collection because I really love trying those playthings. And then this is a pen BBS, and I did not do my research on what exactly this is called. There is a, I think this is the converter for this one. Yep. It reminds me very much of the Zodiac Penco. What I like about this is that there is an O-ring right here, so it will seal nicely. And this is kind of a Fude nib. Pen BBS since 2005. And the material feels different. Like, well, actually, let's try this. Different. It's this one. It feels different than these ones for sure. These two for sure. I can't really put a name to what I feel like, why this feels different. It feels like thicker. It sounds differently. But what? And then she also sent this Jinhao 80. And of all the pens that she sent, I think this one is like, I've seen some people say, oh, this is so similar to the Lamy 2000. I do not agree at all. The only thing that it resembles me, that it reminds me of is the shape. But I feel like the quality is completely different. And this is also a nice quality pen. But of all the pens that I'm touching right now, I feel this feels most cheap to me. And this is my new Swink. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I really love. And Swink is an ink mover swatch tool. And I want to use this for sure. Sooner rather than later. So all of this I need to somehow document in my journal. And I don't really know how yet. And I also want to somehow document all of these new pens or not so new pens. Like this is not new because it's from the 90s. So this is kind of vintage too. And also it's not mine just yet. I want to, like, how do I document these pens when I don't know when I'm going to film a video about them? I don't know. Yeah, so I want to somehow add these to my notebook here. And then I also want to make a memory keeping spread. The things I want to do, the things you want to do but you don't. So this is one of the notebooks. If you remember, if you can still recall earlier, I said, some of the ideas that I had to use as journals, I was briefly occupying the idea of using my ink journal in a standard notebook, all the ink from cleaning the pens. But I think I really like the width of the A5. So I think I'm not going to switch my ink journal to a standard size. Maybe when I'm done with 2025 and I have more experience with the Sanzen paper as an ink journal, maybe that will change my thought process. But I think I want to do 2025 in a traveler's notebook. No. Brain. Think before you speak. I want to do my ink journal, or it's not really my ink journal because I'm not journaling about inks. I'm just like, you know, logging all the happenings of my exploration. My ink log, my fountain pen log, the fountain pen bullet journal is going to be A5. But I was contemplating moving out of this once 2024 is over, even if there's some pages left. And then I have the idea, originally I was going to keep this in that size and just buy a new passport traveler's notebook. But I could also move my reading journal into a standard size. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because I can't not use a traveler's notebook. Is this supposed to be off center? Or am I just imagining things? 3.4, 4.5, nah, 4. Let's go like this. Huh. I mean, it's not really, I just noticed that this was not in the middle. So I was wondering if this is supposed to be like that, which I really don't mind at all. Maybe I notice it's driving, you know, so it's driving off the page. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do for 2025 is use a traveler's notebook size reading journal. But also, not really writing a lot, so I don't care. Do I care? Not really. I can also just write a list, and then 2 pages will be filled with all of my books of 2025, and then I can continue using it. Now the only thing I need to do is find a book that I would like to use that is making me excited about writing in it. This is something that I struggled with a lot this year, finding especially for my personal long form writing journal, is finding a paper and a size that I want to use. Now I'm almost done. No, I'm not done. I'm like, I could sit here for ages and talk, but I feel like I'm done chatting with you. How is this? Is this also just, yeah. This feels different though. This feels more like, comparing this ball clip that is made by pressing a sheet into shape, and this one, this feels more sturdy and more, this feels like it's not a ball, it's like a thing, a nut ball. That's interesting. I like that there is an ink window. Yeah, you can see. I don't know how to stop this video right now. Both are medium nibs. Yeah, so I really am so glad that you're here. I still haven't updated my reading journal. That's fine. I can also do this in private. But I'm super excited. And I'm also kind of stressing because making top 5 videos is not turning on the camera and just talking, because you need to think about what is actually the top 5. How do I determine top 5? Why? What? And I just don't really want to sit down and do that. But I also really think I would love to do top 5. So I'm battling. My inner Simone is battling between wanting to do them and putting in the work. So I'm procrastinating. And it's also already the middle of November, and that stresses me out. I feel like back in my uni days when I saw the deadline coming and I knew that I was supposed to be doing things, but I didn't because I just couldn't. My whole body did not obey what I was trying to do. Like, yes, today would be the perfect day to do that. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Why not? I don't know. That's how I feel about this right now. And then the deadline would creep nearer and nearer. I would get more and more anxious. I would be less and less able to do what I was supposed to do. And then I would just like completely crash my project. Or turn in a really, really crappy one because I barely was able to do the minimum that was required. Yeah, this is my life. I'm 47, turning 48 soon. And I'm still struggling with this. But now it's not a due date. I can just pivot. If there's not top 5 videos, I'm still struggling with the same problem. Which leads me to believe that possibly I should just do it and prove myself wrong. What do I think about that? Maybe I'll film another journal session first. So I have 3. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm stoked to be here. I'm so glad that you are part of my community. I just watched Carrie from Pens and Tea's video about why she quit YouTube and the algorithm and the videos tanking. And I think the reason why I love making videos mostly and why I just talk about stuff that I love is because it gives me the opportunity to talk to people who love the same things that I do and building community. Even if it's just a virtual community of like-minded people, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you are here, that you're part of this community, and that we can all hang out and have fun with our pens and journal. Sometimes talk about more deeper things. But this is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Need to think about the title photo that I want to flat lay right now. And I will see you again soon. I'm actually not sure how my schedule is going to be for the snippets from my desk videos because I'm going to be away for a little bit soon. So yeah, as the pen turns is a podcast. Okay, goodbye. See you.